Hello, everyone. It is time to talk about using Google Drive. So that's what we're going to get on to here in a moment. And I will switch over to the screen so you can see. All right. So here we are. I just opened a new tab in Google. That's a theme we did in one of the earlier videos in this series. Uh, I happen to notice that's downtown Chicago. I used to work there for about 20 years. But aside from that note, one thing I'm going to do real quick is I'm not real fond of this little bear person icon and everything, so I'm going to go ahead and add a profile picture just so you see that you can do that. So we're going to click here. All right, I clicked right there, and I'm going to click right here to do customize profile, and that actually might be the harder way about to go about it. So let's do it a little differently. All right, I'm going to click on this one right here and then click on the little camera icon next to that D and click down here to add a profile picture and click on from computer. Of course, you could pick something here, but that's not what I'm going for. And then I'll pick from computer and upload from computer. And we'll go ahead and pop that in. It's uploading the photo. It's cropped the way I want it, so I'll save as a profile picture and done. And then we're done with that. It's here. It should sync up here soon. All right, that'll take a little bit because that's dependent on Chrome Sync, which is on. Okay, now let's talk about Google Drive a little bit. All right, Google Drive is online storage that comes with your Gmail account. You get up to 15 gigabytes for free along with a Gmail account. So let's go ahead and get into Google Drive, which it's pretty much like the other Google tools we've been using. It's just drive.google.com and then hit enter. All right, and Google Drive. And here we go. And we've got some test documents and stuff that I've created. We have Google Drive. We can see I've only used 8 kilobytes out of 15 gigabytes that are available in Drive. Okay, so we have our job applications spreadsheet that we did in the last video, our document where we get all of our information together in one place that we did in the last video. Now, if I needed to upload any pictures, we're going to close this out. We don't really need that. Okay. And we don't need Drive for desktop. We can just use it through the browser and it's actually easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find any open area here and I'm going to right click and I'm going to do new folder and I'll call it jobs. All right. And there we have a folder called jobs. And I'm going to go ahead and move this. All right. All right. So I right click on it and move to. Click on jobs and move. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to do a move to right with the job application spreadsheet. And we'll click move. And that should be in there. All right, so now we have our job application spreadsheet open here. I'm going to go ahead and bring that up. This is a spreadsheet we made to keep track of job applications in the previous video. And I'm going to go ahead and bookmark that. We'll put it here for the moment. And I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to edit it. So just so you can see that you can edit um, the a link. And I would never mess with the URL down here, that's the address of it. We're just going to change the name and I'm going to shorten it up a little bit and we'll save that. And then I'm going to create a folder. I'm just going to right click here, add a folder for job apps. Okay. And we'll drop that in there. And okay, now I've got that bookmarked. Now in Google Drive Jobs, we'll go ahead and open up that sheet. You'll notice it opens up in a new tab, not the same tab. And we'll go ahead and bookmark that here. And I'm going to edit it to take that Google Docs off the end because I know it's a Google Doc and I want to shorten it up a bit. It's a good idea to keep everything that you put up here on the bookmarks bar as short as you can. But you can see it's a Google Sheet from the icon and it's a Google Doc from the icon, so we really don't need that. Now, that's fine when it comes to um, creating folders from within Google Docs and moving things around inside Google Docs. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to upload, we'll upload a folder, right? We can upload a whole folder from the PC to here. So all I got to do is find an open white area here and just right click and I can do file upload or folder upload. Notice also I could create a new Google Doc, create a new Google Sheet or Google Slides presentation. This is like PowerPoint, or create a new Google Form. And Google Form is like a contact form on a website. You can do something similar to that. All right, but we're not really concerned with all those right now. But we'll go ahead and do a folder upload. All right, and I'll go ahead and go over to Documents and come down to where I have resume docs and I'll just upload that and it's going to upload the entire folder. Okay, and it's uploading all 29 files that are in there. Okay, and we're going to see that little circle here. You see how it's turning more blue down there in the right corner. All right, once that's blue all the way around, that folder upload should be complete. So we'll let that finish. Okay, I don't have that fancy thing where I can pause the recording and just come back, at least not yet. So we'll wait for that to finish. And then let's say I wanted to download a folder. I could right click on jobs and click on download. Now, when I download a folder, it's going to pretty much put it where I tell it to, or a lot of cases it'll default to your downloads folder. But also, when I download a folder, it zips the folder, right? And you'll see that here in a second. See, it says zipping one file, preparing to download, and it should download pretty fast because there's not that much there. It's taking a minute to zip though, isn't it? Now, if I just want to download a file, I can right click on the file and hit download, and it converts to a Word doc by default since it's a Google Doc, and then downloads it onto your PC there. And I'm going to right click on it and show it in folder. And of course, it just downloaded into my downloads folder. You can see here, right? So that's pretty quick. And then we're going to let this prepare to download. Apparently, it takes a little while to zip, even for small folders on Google Drive on the back end. All right, but that's Google Drive in a nutshell. And again, it's just drive.google.com to get there. So this is kind of handy place for you to store resume documents and applications in that professional Gmail that we just created. Okay, that's taking a minute to sync, so I'm going to leave it alone. There's not really a way to tell it to sync right now, so all right. And we have one upload complete. There, we're good there. We'll close that out, and that uploaded that entire resume documents folder. Now, if I want to get rid of something, I can right click on it and click remove. Notice also I can do things like change the color of it. Okay. Let's make it look like a manila envelope. It looks a little Windows-ish there, doesn't it? Okay. But you can change the color of things and stuff like that to make it easier to sort what's where. All right. For right now, I'm going to click on remove because I don't need that particularly stored here. And now it'll be over in the trash. So if I click over here on trash, we'll find that there. And if I right click again, it's going to delete it forever. Right? Now it's gone. Now, if you're running out of space, then you might be wanting to do some of that. All right, you'll notice the jobs folder, download it, and right click, show in folder. And I'll right click and scan it with Microsoft Defender just to make sure Google isn't having a bad day. And that came up as 0 threats found. That's what I'm looking for. Just a little safety feature, but this would be the entire contents of that folder in a zip file, which is just a compressed file. And if I right click, I should have access to open it. Now I installed 7-zip, and if I want to open it, I can and look at the files, or I can extract the files and tell it where to put them. All right. So that's just because they're compressed. That's what a zip file means. It means it's squished down so it doesn't take as much room on your hard drive. Okay, so we have that available in my drive, and there we go. That's Google Drive. So you will also find when you create a new document, a new sheet, or a new presentation or slideshow, as they call it, it will show up here in my drive somewhere, right? So be aware of that you have this storage attached to your Gmail, and it's available to use online. You can, as long as your phone is signed in with the same account, you should be able to get in here on your phone if need be, or um, on your PC, as long as you're signed in with this account, with the account that you created to do the same thing. Okay, so that's how to use Google Drive, and I think we're gonna go ahead and shut this video down and move on to the next one.